If you have been applying to roles and you're a healthcare professional and you're hearing nothing back, you're not hearing emails back, you're not hearing rejections, you're not even hearing a very nice, like, we have your resume on file, we're going to keep it in our Rolodex. And I want you to watch this video before applying to any other jobs, because the problem is not your resume. It's not your background, it's not your experience, it's not your skills, and it's definitely not that the jobs are not available. The problem, unfortunately, is that a robot is deciding whether or not your application gets anywhere else. So before a human ever sees it, no one has told applicants in this job market that your application is getting pushed out of the whole system by a bot. So I'm going to show you exactly how that system works, why healthcare professionals are uniquely hurt by it, and what you should be doing instead. If you're here, hi, I am Jackie. I'm a career coach specifically for healthcare professionals who want to move into their next role, whether that is in a clinical setting or somewhere non-traditional. I've helped many individuals make those transitions, and they have gone from settings where they're hearing months and months of absolutely nothing, they're not receiving offers, and they shift almost always by starting with this one conversation that we have right here. So let's dive right in. So what most professionals don't know, and it's no one's fault, but what you don't know and you don't have an idea about is that before your resume ever reaches anyone, it goes through something called an applicant tracking system, or an ATS. So think of this like a filter, like a bouncer at a club. They're letting people in, they're not letting people in, right? Every major employer uses one of these ATS systems. So with that, when you click apply on LinkedIn, or if you're going to, Indeed or another website, your resume goes automatically into this software. And here's the stat that should really stop everyone cold in their tracks. Studies show that about 97% of resumes submitted through these online job platforms, which is why I say let's not use them. I don't like these statistics. 97% of applications submitted through these online job portals never make it past that filter to a human person on the other side, a recruiter, a hiring manager. 97%. So that means, let's say you apply to 50 jobs and you hear nothing back. Statistically, only one or two of your applications was even read by a human, by a person on the other side. The rest were just auto-rejected by an algorithm. So here's why this hits healthcare professionals actually much harder, because we were not trained to know how to do these things. We were trained to be exceptional clinicians. We weren't trained to optimize our resume with keywords or work around these software systems. We weren't trained like this in school. And so what we were trained to do is really write our resumes the way we were taught. We list our experience, responsibilities, our credentials, our certifications. It looks pristine. I'm sure it looks very aesthetically pleasing. It's professional. It's on point when it comes to the aesthetics, and it reads very well. You've gotten all the grammar and everything just so perfect. But unfortunately, the ATS throws it out because it doesn't see the exact keyword that it's looking for, and that's what it was programmed to do. So if you have experiences in certain areas and you're trying to move through this ATS, if you don't label it with this extremely precise language that the ATS system is scanning for, then your application is essentially invisible. And this even hits individuals harder who have a career gap. And we'll talk about what that looks like and how you can optimize your resume in a totally different way than most applicants are not doing if you did have a career break, because there's so much value to that gap that we can talk about. And some ATS systems, unfortunately, are programmed to flag employment gaps and auto deprioritize those resumes. So if you're sending application after application after application, hundreds of them at this point, and you're wondering, what can I be doing wrong? Maybe you're questioning, do I need more education? Do I need more qualifications, experience, skills, etc.? Or you're feeling like I'm just not a competitive candidate. The real issue is that you were never even in the game to begin with because the bots were tossing out your resume. So let me give you 3 common things three common ATS blunders that I see individuals make so you can start fixing those things today. Number one, you are using a generic resume for every single application. If you are using one resume for every single application, the ATS doesn't know how to read through your resume like a human does, right? It is just scanning for specific keywords from that specific job posting, which means that your resume really needs to reflect the language of each role that you apply to. So you really absolutely need to customize it to every single application. And it takes longer, absolutely. But remember, for every 50 applications that you're putting in, especially generic ones, those get rejected. When you can send really tailored, beautiful ones, maybe you send 5 extremely tailored resumes, that is actually going to get to a human. Number 2, you are burying your experience or not really pulling it out. I can't tell you 100% of my clients, honestly, have not documented their experiences and the gold that they're bringing to the table in their application documents. So all of the things that you've done, the skills that map directly to your next step, if it doesn't call them out very specifically, or it says something vague like I helped with, or I assisted with, or we're using verbs that aren't very powerful or actionable, then the ATS is not going to surface this for you. You have to bring that relevant experience, and it has to be named correctly. It has to be positioned prominently in your application materials. And so we will work on that. Number 3, your LinkedIn profile should match your resume. Your LinkedIn profile should match your resume. And a lot of people don't know this, and it's no one's fault at all, but many ATS systems now cross-reference LinkedIn, and they looked for that matching piece. So they're looking at your resume, they're matching things up with your LinkedIn. And if you just have a very generic headline, for example, or you don't have keywords optimizing your LinkedIn profile, then everything is unfortunately working against you. So your profile needs to speak the same exact language as the roles that you want. So that personal brand is extremely important. Now, I want to be really honest with you about something, because a lot of career advice that I see really stops too early. Fixing your resume and putting in keywords and all of this will really help. Optimizing your LinkedIn will help. But here's the thing that most career advice misses. Individuals who are landing positions right now are not finding them through job boards. In fact, that's the number one thing I tell my clients to stop doing when we start working together. I tell them, stop looking at job boards, stop applying to jobs. And I know that sounds very counterintuitive, but I want you to know that most jobs are filled outside of the public job boards. They're filled through referrals. They're filled through networking. They're filled through individuals reaching out directly to someone inside the organization. So although this ATS situation is very real, and we should fix it because it's very problematic for everyone, applicants, employers, etc., but the real strategy shift comes when we think about this one point. Stop relying on the job boards as your primary channel of looking for your next opportunity, and start building real relationships that get you into positions before the job is even ever making it to a job board. And I know this feels a lot harder. I know this might sound a lot more intimidating or uncomfortable, and it might feel like a longer game to play, so to speak. It might feel like a longer investment. But what happens is I've watched a lot of individuals spend 9, 10, 12 plus months applying to jobs through job boards and having no results. Whereas if we flip the script on the job market, we come at it from a driver's seat perspective, a position of power, a position of intention, and knowing what we really want as our next step, then you can land positions way quicker. And we switch our strategy to strategic networking. It works every time. So here's what I want you to do right now. First, stop applying to jobs. Stop applying to jobs just for this week. Just promise me, for this week alone, stop applying to jobs. Don't send any new applications until you audited what you've already been doing. Number 2, go to your LinkedIn profile right now. Just go there. If it's a tagline underneath your name that is very generic, we have to update it. You need to signal to other people the direction that you're moving in and not just what your title is right now or what your background is very broadly. And number three, if you want to go deeper on this, I have a free resource that I can share with you that walks you through exactly how to audit your LinkedIn profile for ATS and visibility. And it takes about 20 to 30 minutes, and most individuals find at least 3 or 4 things that they can fix right away. So if you are a healthcare professional and you are trying to move into a new area and you feel like you've been trying all the things, you've been trying to do everything exactly right, and you're still not getting anywhere, I want you to know it's not you. It's not you. The system is genuinely broken and not working for applicants right now, but there's a much better way that you can navigate it. So please drop a comment below. I'd love to know how long you've been applying to jobs, and I will read every single one of these comments. And if this video helped you, let me know. I'd love for you to share it with someone else who needs to hear this because I promise you that you are not alone.